Hi everyone, it's Kate from The Fold Line. I am back this week with the Sewdown. This is our monthly roundup of stuff that we thought you would find interesting in and around the world of sewing, stuff to read, stuff to listen to, stuff to watch while you're sewing, a couple of indie designers that you may not have heard of, lots of good stuff. So settle in, grab a cup of tea, and I am going to get started. So I usually start this with stuff I've been making. I haven't made anything this month. It's been another very quiet month on the make front. I am starting a quilt, but I will show you that when I'm done. Next up, I usually talk about a couple of indie designers that you guys may not have heard. I've got two to talk to you about. So the first company is called The Pattern Preacher. They are a UK-based company. They have sorry, my laptop's here. They've got 6 patterns. Really nice. I would say quite, if I was going to say they were similar to another pattern company, they kind of have a mixture of sew over it and Tilly and the Buttons. If they were merged together, I feel like they've got quite similar styles. Kind of nice, wearable, good kind of core wardrobe basics. Yeah, and they're going to be releasing more patterns. So yeah, they're definitely worth checking out. And they've got, yeah, did I say 6 patterns at the moment. The other pattern company I've got is called I should have remembered to work out how to say this. Makla Creates. Sorry if I've said that wrong. They are a New Zealand-based company. They've got 3 patterns currently, and I did talk about one of them actually in my last video, the Dua blouse and dress. They've got blouse 1 and the Rachel's Buyer skirt. They've got 3 at the moment, and they will be releasing more. They come in sizes 6 to 18, and they are expanding their size range at the moment. So yeah, I really like their stuff, so they're definitely worth checking out. So things this is just a random thing, but I figure at the moment we need to treat ourselves to stuff. And I'm just alerting you that there is a sewing advent calendar that Hemline have done. It's on the John Lewis website. It's £34. And it looks like it's got some good stuff in it. So if you feel like you need to treat yourself and Christmas is coming, I thought this might be fun. Just thought I'd share. We found it on my rounds of stuff. So I've got a kind of sewing event, an online event. Many of you who are UK based will have either been to or heard of Sew Brum, which is organised by Charlotte, who is formerly known as English Girl at Home. And this is a meet-up in Birmingham. Everyone goes fabric shopping. It's really good fun. But obviously because of this new world, it's going to be online this year. So it's on Saturday the 17th of October. Everything I talk about, there'll be links down below. So I'll pop a link. You can go and join. There's free admission. And it's going to be there'll be loads of good stuff because Charlotte is organising it. Have no fear. So yeah, I thought that would be nice for everyone to do. We all need a bit of fun stuff to look forward to. I got a few things to read. So the first article is a Guardian article, and it's about celebrity coat moments. It is fantastic. It's definitely worth having a look at. I think you'll all be inspired to make something from it. So it's kind of I mean, when I say read, it's mainly look. There's not a huge amount of writing, but there's loads of really fantastic old school pictures, including like a really hilarious one of the Queen in the 90s. And yeah, it's definitely worth having a look at. I really enjoyed. It's just a little silly thing to look at. A really cool article about a woman-only tailoring house that's opening in Savile Row, which is lush. I mean, it's so nice to hear new businesses starting out, especially at the moment. And my friend actually used to work on Savile Row, and it is so male-dominated. And definitely, as a woman working on Savile Row, she definitely found that she was treated not the same as the men. So this is a really good and exciting thing, so go and have a read, and I hope this woman manages to nail it and stay there. Another Guardian article which I thought you guys might find interesting. I was thinking about this as a business idea, which someone could definitely do. So the article is called The Rise of Fashion Rental. So we all consume and get rid of too much stuff. Why not rent clothing? Because quite often you buy a dress that you wear for a special occasion, you only wear it a handful of times, and this way you could just rent a dress rather than buying something. I was thinking, I mean, obviously there's a lot of issues at stake with fit and everything, but what about having like a dressmate, like a homemade, like a home sewn rental of each other's dresses? That could be a really interesting idea. I'll leave that to you to mull over, and if someone wants to start that, it's yours, have it. Yeah, but I thought it was a really nice article, so it's definitely worth going and having a read of. Next up, I've got an online, online exhibition, sorry, brain. It's really interesting. It's about fast and slow fashion in Leeds, and it's something that you can either do if you are Leeds based in person. It's a walking tour, but there's also an online version, so you can actually see the entire exhibition, and they talk about the Leeds from like the 1720s to the present day. It's really interesting. There's loads of like really great pictures and costumes, and I learnt loads actually, so it's definitely worth going and checking out, and it's free. Next up, I've got a blog post, and it's kind of I guess a trend that is within the sewing community a lot at the moment, and I just thought it was worth sharing. So it is on Closet Cores Patterns. It's about adding shirring to anything. So that's where you put elastic, you sew with elastic, and it makes it stretchy, and you put the lines together to make a kind of, well, like stripes, you know what I mean, you know. So she's done a really good step-by-step tutorial to show you how to do it. It's really easy once you get kind of the hang of it. The other person who's done this is By Hand London, have done it on Instagram. It's on their stories and it's saved as a highlight. I'll pop a link down below because that one was really helpful as well. So if you've never done it before, there's 2 tutorials on how to do it, and I thought that I would just mention there's 3 patterns that off the top of my head that I thought might, if you wanted to try some shirring, have shirring and might be useful. So the first one, which I've spoken about before, is the Sophia dress from Victory Patterns, and this comes in sizes 0 to 30. This has got a big sheared panel on the bust, lots and lots of sleeve options with this dress, and in Victory Patterns they actually should tell you, they give you a tutorial as well on how to do the shirring. So that would be a really nice option if you wanted to try it. The Deo dress and blouse from Mason. This is such a lovely dress. Lots of people have made it. It's got shirring around the sleeves. So if you wanted just to try a little bit, this would be a really good option. This comes in sizes 8 to 20. It's lovely. It's also got long sleeves, which I think at the moment is really nice. Actually, the Sophia dress does have an option for long sleeves too. So there's a couple of really good patterns there. The last one, which is definitely if you're the other side of the world and it's becoming warm, the Phoebe shirred top from Pattern Union. It's really nice pattern. It's kind of a jumpsuit. Oh no, it's not, they're separate. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, I'm with it, sorry. I saw it as a top and then I've looked at the line drawings and there's a bottoms with it. So there's a free bottoms pattern, but this is the top to go with it. Really simple sheared panel with tie straps. This would be really easy to do and a really nice thing to start with. This comes in sizes 6 to 20. So yeah, this is another kind of good one. So things that I am watching, I've watched a few good things this month and I thought I would share. The first thing is on the BBC iPlayer called Us. It's a Rich Nichols book which I've read and really enjoyed. David Nichols, sorry. Book that I have read and really enjoyed. and they've done a BBC adaptation of it. I'm halfway through it. It's really fantastic, and if you've read the book, it doesn't disappoint, because I know quite often we read the book and we're like, and then you watch the TV adaptation and it's not as good. So it's really, the premise of the programme is about a family of 3, so there's an only child and 2 parents. The child is about to go off to university, and the father has organised this trip of a lifetime interrailing around Europe. Their relationship is falling apart, and the mother and the son get on a lot better than the father and the son, and the mother ends up leaving, and the father, it's really hilarious. You should definitely watch it. It's kind of sad but good and worth a watch. The next thing that was really interesting to watch is The Social Dilemma on Netflix. This is a documentary. It's called a documentary drama, and explores the impact of social media on us as people. It was very interesting. I'm sure a lot of us have a complicated relationship with social media, and it's definitely worth watching. I've really enjoyed it. It made me think about how I use it, and how, as people, you know, the way that we communicate is changing, and how, yeah, it's been obviously you all know, it's been a massive societal change in how we communicate with each other, and it's really interesting. So I would definitely watch it if you're interested in that sort of thing. And I was quite surprised at some of the stuff, and I learned loads. So yeah, that was really enjoyable. The last thing, now this is a bit Marmitey. If you like murdery stuff, now a lot of you were very into all the murdery podcasts. I've got something on the BBC that was really fascinating. The Shipman Files, a very British crime story. So I'm sure most of you know who Harold Shipman is. He is, but if not, he was a doctor, and he murdered, they think, over 200 people in his time as a doctor. I'd heard about him, but the premise of this TV show, or this 3-parter, is about the people that he'd killed, and, you know, hearing the stories behind the numbers, because when you think of 200, it's almost impossible to comprehend. So they interview kind of family members and how the whole thing unfurled as well. So it was really good. So if you like that sort of thing, this is definitely, I would highly recommend it. I gobbled it up and really enjoyed it. So something to read or listen to, I'm listening to it on Audible. I've spoken about, this is the author's second book, so Raina Wynn, she wrote, The Salt Path, which I have spoken about a couple of times, which I absolutely adored, and if you haven't read it, go and read it. It's a true story about being made homeless in their 60s, and they walk the Southwest Coastal Path, which is the most beautiful walk ever. And the end of the book, they arrive somewhere and they settle, and it's about what happens next. And it's a true story, and I'm about a third of the way through it, but it's really good and definitely worth it. If you enjoyed the first one, I definitely say the second one's great. Her descriptions of nature are just beautiful. Like, she's really, really fantastic. So I've got 2 things to listen to. The first one is a podcast called Off Menu. It's actually an episode that's really fantastic with Claudia Winkleman, who I have got a girl crush on. And it's just really funny and silly, the whole episode, and she is wonderful. So if you feel like you want something quite jolly to listen to, that's what I would recommend. And then last but not least, there's a new podcast which the Facebook group, actually, which I will pop a link to if anyone's not part of it. There's a Facebook group on the Fold Line, and lots of people talk about different things, and I discovered this podcast through that. It's called Stitch Please, and it's the official podcast of Black Woman Stitch, the sewing group where Black Lives Matter is the title. And each week they interview a different person. It's dressmaking and quilting, but it's really good. I've only listened to a couple of episodes, but it's definitely worth checking out if you want something sewing based and new in your life. So yeah, it's a really interesting one, and they they talk about quite important topics, and yeah, I've really enjoying it as so far. So that is it from me. I hope that was good and gave you a little taster of some good stuff to read and listen to, and an online exhibition and all that stuff. And I will be back soon with another video. Bye!